Howdy ho Stampers, Deb Valder here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, ready to show you how to do a 3x6 Christmas card. This is the card that we're going to do, so let's get started. We're also going to make a matching envelope to go along with it. So the card base for this one is pretty simple. You're going to take a 12x12 sheet of cardstock because you're going to get more out of it, and you're going to cut it down into 6x6 pieces. So we're going to do 6x6 pieces. You're going to score it at 3, so now you have a 3x6 card. Okay? So here's our card. The first layer is our white layer, and I'm going to cut that at 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. So that's this piece right here. We're going to take and we're going to cut that 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, and then our top base is going to be, or our top color is navy, and it's going to be 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. Now the very first thing that I did was I took my Night of Navy ink and I sponged all the way around it, and this makes a huge difference. It just gives it more of a 3D look. Okay, so you're just going to take and you're going to sponge all the way around this. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your white ink and we are going to make our background, this part right here. And you don't want that full strength, because when you go to do that, if it's full strength, it's going to overpower the trees on the back. So this background stamp is called En Francais. It's been around for quite a while, and it is just a very elegant background stamp. It just gives it lends a lot to your cardstock. So you're going to ink this up. And the most important thing that you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to rub it off first, because like I said, we don't want this to be full strength. So I just took a scrap piece of paper, and what I'm doing is I'm just rubbing over the top of it to get the ink off of it. I know that sounds kind of silly, but that's what we need to do. So then I'm going to take the side that I did sponge around, and I'm going to lay that down first. Now, depending on which side you want your bow on is going to depend on which side you put your cardstock, and I'll show you what I mean by that at the end. Okay, so now I'm going to take this again and I'm going to just rub the back end of it just like this. Okay, and that's going to give me my background, but it's going to be very, very light. You see? Now what we need to do here is to just move it down. And it doesn't matter if you see the seam or not, because we're going to put our bow there, okay? And then just rub. And that gives us our background. Alrighty? So the next step that we've got to do is we've got to take and we've got to stamp our image. We're going to take our white craft ink. We're going to take our Lovely as a Tree, which is the oldest stamp set in the catalog, and we're going to stamp it down. Now my seam is over here, so I'm going to take and I'm going to stamp this off to the side on the right, which is the opposite of my card, and I did that on purpose so that you can see that both ways are okay. Alrighty, so you see how the muted part in the back doesn't overpower the trees? So now we have our background. We're going to actually take and start putting our card together. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to add this to my white layer, which is right here. Okay, so we'll add this to our white layer. And you want to get this pretty centered, okay, centered pretty good, because there isn't a lot of room. This is just a little shadow. Okay, and then we're going to take, and the next thing that we need to do is we need to add our ribbon. And I just took our silver ribbon, folded it up, left 2 long layers when I folded it together, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. Okay, and I'm just going to wrap this around so that it hides that little line. Now let's get it up a little bit farther here. There we go. Okay, so we've just added our ribbon. We've covered up our little line that we had where we added, and you would never even know it. Okay, finish it up by adding some more snail. Add some more snail, and then add it to our 3x5 card. And this is a card that you can do a lot. I mean, it's a mass-produced card. You just have to let the white ink dry. Now for our last embellishment, okay, you see I have the bow on one side, and then this one's on the other side. For our last embellishment, we're just going to take and glitter up our tree. All right? So what I did was I took my two-way glue, right here, and I just outlined one of the trees. Just take one of the trees and highlight it. You're just going to take and just put a little bit of glue on here, and then we're going to take our glitter. This is Dazzling Diamonds glitter, and I just sprinkle it on, and we have our completed project. I want to just show you a little tip that I do. After this is really dry, I will take my little Swiffer duster here and dust off all of the glitter that I don't want on there. And when you're done, you have a card that looks like that with a matching envelope. And I just stamped the trees on the outside, and I lined the inside. And this is done with our envelope punch board. We don't sell these kind of envelopes, but I made matching envelopes so that our cards will fit inside them. I hope you enjoyed my post. I hope you learned a little, and like I said, these can be mass produced. It's a very simple, easy, elegant card. Take care and have a great day.